Nick Hawkins, West Ham Fan TV. Just watched the game. Spurs 2, West Ham 0. It's disheartening, isn't it, to see a team without much bollocks, to be quite honest.
Yeah, well, I'm still getting over the Wolves game, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm a little bit dragged back from that. But I think we had a little bit of fight tonight. A little bit more encouragement, I saw on the pitch compared to the Wolves game, to be honest. I mean, Bowen was showing a little bit more improvement. Fornals is a little better. You got swapped. You got his name. Fucking, I lose my nut here. Switched out Balbuena. He's doing all right at the back, Yeah. Thought Cresswell was a little better. Thought we all would have a little. We're at the game again, 50-50, as it was with Wolves. And the biggest problem I've got there is we're chasing the game, but I can't say it was a 50-50 possession like it was at Wolves or wherever like that. I mean, you're Tottenham Hotspurs edging it 70-30 or 60-40. I've got to say that, with 5 substitutions that we can make, we make the substitutions at the wrong fucking time. I've got to swear, at the wrong time. We just stand there. I think, it's too bad that, well, it was 2 great goals from I'm talking about the Wolves here. When we knew Wolves were coming to the London Stadium with a plan.
Yeah.
And they got 2 of their best players on the bench. It's like they're coming down there without even thinking about, maybe take it easy, rest a few players on the bench. We're thin. We're totally thin. You know that, I know that. We're thin. Got nothing. And for Moyes to know that he's replaced Anderson, he's got him on the bench, and to take him off from last Saturday's game, and he's putting in what's his name? Who's coming for Anderson today? He's thinking to himself, well, Anderson, he's got nothing, is he, Anderson?
No.
He's about as much use as a donut hole.
I can't even think of the starting lineup now, so I can't even tell you who.
Yeah, that's how it's just and the maddest thing is about this all is we're in a pandemic right now, and we've got football coming back, and you've got Steve McManaman saying, well, it's a great thing that football's coming back in here, thing like that, and you're thinking to yourself, well, hold up a minute here, I think it's the wrong time, to be honest, because we've got anxiety, we're all depressed, we're all in this situation, and yet we've been fed a fucking, okay, football's coming home or football's coming back. And you got I watched the game of Man United and what was it? No, fucking Liverpool and Everton the other day, and I had the sound turned off. Completely different game. What's going around in my head right now is Spurs. Fucking God, I can't even talk, mate. I really can't. Spurs are really. I hear the Spurs come marching in, fucking on a loop for 90 minutes, man. I'm just doing my bloody nutting. 90 minutes, Spurs. Fucking go marching in.
Oh, definitely. I'm thinking
I tried to turn the sound off. It was absolutely driving me crazy. I think there's a few ends when we got the ball in the corner or something, like that. There was a West Ham, I'm forever blowing bubbles.
Yeah.
But, it's not the same. It's not the same.
Well, it's not the same competition. I mean, I was looking at the fixtures just before I come on here with you. We got 8 days now until Chelsea. We need to get a good rest. We need to get some good work in. I mean, we've had, a month before this, but they started training about 3 weeks, 4 weeks before we started again. But then they come thick and fast, mate. There's something like 6 games in 18 days. There's not much respite. Yeah. It's a different competition, but look, everybody's in the same boat. You can't use them as excuses. At the end of the day, mate, it's down to the players. I think the manager's to blame today, to be honest, because I think he picked the wrong team. There's a few players there that's just not up for a fight. He doesn't know how to change a game. He doesn't know what to do when his plan isn't working, and we're really struggling, Paul.
Yeah, bingo, mate, bingo. You read it right there. I mean, on Wolves' game, you got the players to blame. Today you got Moyes to blame.
Mm.
A few changes, there's subs changes. Well, you know, and I don't know the change there coming. I thought Lanzini did all right when he came on a Wolves game, so I was thinking, well, Lanzini's going to be a good change right now for 4 hours. I know that's going to happen.
Mm.
But Anderson, I don't want to see that guy playing a shirt ever again, to be honest.
No.
You know, he's just flaking about. I actually just sat there and watched how many times he made errors. You know, I didn't end up giving up, you know. There's an error.
Yeah.
Nothing forward, but we've got the same setup with Antonio up top. We're crying out for, like, prior to the lockdown and before the end of the season that we were going through with Moyes, we're crying for 2 up top. Then when we did get 2 up top and start playing attacking football, we nabbed a few games, you know, even on the bounce or even away. You know, the same thing here is Moyes taking his time to warm up, or he just forgot what he was doing back in, you know, prior to the lockdown. I just don't think he's, you know, he's.
It looks to me, mate, like, you know, with not risking Haller tonight, and obviously didn't play the other night. As far as I knew, his injury wasn't that bad. He seems to be targeting certain games, but when you're leaving yourself with 4 to win out of 7, because you know that's what it is now, and if we lose to Chelsea, 4 to win out of 6, you know, you are really pushing your luck.
You are. I mean, like, I think it was Noble that mentioned after the game, because when I mentioned that I was watching the Everton Liverpool game with the sound off, I said to my girlfriend, and was sitting there just watching it, and I said, this seems like a World Cup game, you know, but without any crowd, you know, just a lower league team, a national team or something, you know, when there's very few people in the stadium, and it's summertime as well, so you've got to have that to consider. Mm. And then also the thing is about it as well. And then Noble made a statement after. He said, "This seems like a summer tournament," which you hear from the commentators online or on whatever, which it is. And we've got to look at it as a tournament and have them 8 games in a little block, and we put them in. Forget about the rest of the teams in the Premier League. Yeah. I mean, I was hoping at the weekend that Liverpool would have done their job at Everton. I'm glad they didn't, because I mean, no one would like to see Evertonians have Liverpool win the title over Everton. Or win the title, beating Everton away in Everton. So I'm kind of thinking to myself, well, you know, one more game, I think they clinch the title. But with no sound, you know, different game, different story. But Noble said it was like, you know, it felt like a summer tournament. Mm. And in that respect, I think they've got what the Moyes should be thinking, or I would be thinking, as if I was a manager. God, I hope I ain't, but to block the teams that you've got to play, put them in a separate fucking league. Don't even worry about any other teams in the Premier League. Just think, right, okay, we're in this fucking competition now. It's not even the Premier League. We're just in this competition. We've got to fucking fight our asses off. Okay, we might lose 1 or 2 games here and we can fight, whatever. But yeah, the end of the day, there's the lack of determination, passion, the desire. You know, it's a tough one. So, I mean, that's really all I've got, you know. It's going to be, I'm not going to say anything more than anyone's already said, but, you know, I mean, Moyes, I mean, why bring back Moyes, to be honest, in the beginning, you know? I mean, I just don't think you should go back. You know, they let him go in the first place. And, you know, the running around for a manager, we were under Pellegrini at that point in time. You know, and we knew we needed him to go.
Yeah. And
it's time for Pellegrini to go. It took us fucking ages and ages to get a manager, which should have been done pronto. Like Spurs changed, Arsenal changed. Wackaroo, get them in, do the job. Fishing around, well, look what we've got, reeling back in Moyes, you know. When they he kept us up, but they let him go. Just don't see the point, you know. Just for me, I just don't look back. You got to look forward. Bring Big Sam. No, he's been and done.
You look at the clubs that was in the market for a manager around the time we was, you know, Everton and West Ham. I think we might have even been above Everton at the time, and they went and got Ancelotti, and we went and got David.
Right, yeah.
And it just shows you the levels of ambition of the club.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Anyway, Paul, thank you so much for coming on, mate.
Yeah, really mate.
I'm struggling to keep.
I wish you all the best, Nicky, mate. I love your work. You know, I support the, you know, West Ham Fan TV. Always have, and you know, just hope you're having a good, you know, We'll just bring on the next game and hope we have a win or something, you know. We'll have a bit of fucking cheer or something, you know. So something to look forward to, mate, you know. So all the best to you, Nicky. Appreciate it, mate.
Hopefully when this all this stuff gets all the lockdowns finished and all that sort of stuff, mate, we can make arrangements to meet up, or I'll come to Canada or you come here or whatever, you know. So we'll see.
There we go. I know you remember saying you were on that buzz to Atlanta at one time.
Yes, yeah, I was going to go, yeah.
But
anyway,
yeah.
well, thank you very much.
Yeah, you have a good night. Good night, Nicky. Peace out, mate.